Alright, so day 28 of October, I watched Fade to Black for the first time, which is a 1980s horror movie where this character named Eric Binford, is obsessed with movies, obsessed with any type of movie, and he, through a series of miscommunications, becomes a killer. And watching this, it came out right whenever Friday the 13th came out, in that 80s craze, right whenever it was just blooming, where Friday the 13th just came out. This came out the same year, in 1980. And watching Fade to Black, honestly, like, I'll say the positive things about it first. I thought this was cool how this character is so disturbed that, like, whenever he's chasing somebody or reenacting a movie, it will show movie footage of what's happening. Like, for example, he's chases one character dressed up as Christopher Lee's Dracula, but whenever he says the lines, it cuts to the actual movie footage of one of the Dracula movies with Christopher Lee, and it says the line. That's really cool. That's really inventive. I really enjoyed that about this movie. And that's all I can give this movie. I didn't like this movie besides that fact that, like, they inserted scenes whenever, like, he reenacted horror scenes from movies, but besides that, this movie was a chore to sit through. And I don't want to diss anybody who loves this movie. Love it all you want. I really couldn't stand Fade to Black. I thought this was so uninteresting, so boring, and I thought that these characters, and it's a horror movie, so these characters are of course not going to always be very well developed, but these characters in this movie, the performances are really bad. A lot of these performances are terrible. Terrible in a way where it's not funny either. It's terrible in a way where it's like, oh, I don't want to watch this. This is sad that I gotta watch these performances. It's very overacting, but in a way where it's not entertaining or fun at all. And it really didn't do much for me at all, because these characters were not very great. Again, they were over the top and so annoying. Like, for example, Eric has this aunt that he lives with in a wheelchair, electric wheelchair. And she says things really loud and really annoying, like, all the time, where she'd be like, I'm trying to think of an exact quote she said, like, how do you watch those things? They're so stupid. Why don't you live out in the real world? Like, it's annoying dialogue like that, and the acting in this movie that, and I don't want to diss bad acting, because there are horror movies that I love that have silly acting in it, like whenever I watch Mad Men for the first time recently, that was hilarious because of the bad acting. I enjoyed Mad Men a lot. This one was just, it was a chore and a struggle to sit through because the acting wasn't great, but in a way where it wasn't enjoyable. And the main character was annoying and obnoxious to me. And again, I hate dissing on movies, but I really didn't like this movie. I thought it was just, it had some creative things about it, but I thought this one really suffered for me for being just obnoxious and annoying, where I didn't care about anybody, didn't like performances, didn't like the acting. Besides the fact that they use, like, film footage whenever, like, he would reenact something, I thought that was a cool touch. But overall, this is a really forgettable slasher with really a cool poster. Like, the poster sucked me in. That's an awesome poster of him just wearing that, like, paint on the side of his face, and he's, like, drinking a cup and eating popcorn, because he's obsessed with movies, that character, Eric. But, yeah, this one was just really forgettable. I really didn't like this movie, so it's really unfortunate, but this one was definitely a no for me. I'm not going to ever watch this again. Yeah, I really didn't like this movie. So, what did you guys think of Fade to Black? Have you seen it? If you have seen it, tell me what you think. If not, say something else. So, thanks guys so much for watching. Comment, subscribe, like if you want. So, thanks so much for watching.